Waking up is not just a routine, it's a miracle. It's a win before your feet even hit the floor. See, the problem is most people open their eyes in the morning and immediately start thinking about what they don't have. I'm tired. I don't feel like going to work. I'm not where I want to be yet. But what you fail to realize is that waking up is the first victory of the day. You beat the odds. You survived another night. Your story is still being written. You were chosen. Again, there's no alarm clock that guarantees your heartbeat. That wasn't a mechanical sound that pulled you from your sleep. That was purpose. That was grace. That was life giving you another shot. And if you can't appreciate that, then you're blind to the very thing that makes you powerful. You think you're supposed to wake up. You think life owes you tomorrow, but it doesn't. Life doesn't promise anybody another day. There are people younger than you, healthier than you, more talented than you, who didn't get up this morning. They had dreams too, they had goals, but their time ended. Yours didn't. That means you've still got something to do. That means your assignment isn't finished. And the fact that you woke up, that's proof that your life still has value, still has purpose. You don't wake up by accident. You wake up because there's still something inside you that the world needs to see. But see, when you treat waking up like it's ordinary, you miss the opportunity to tap into the extraordinary. You walk around with a heavy heart, low energy, no motivation, and you don't even realize the gift you're walking with. You're breathing. Your mind is working. Your body might not be perfect, but it's enough to move. And if it moves, it can grow. If it grows, it can change. And if it can change, then you're not stuck. You're just distracted by complaints, by problems, by what's missing. But the moment you shift your perspective, everything changes. Because when you wake up and say, I already won, you walk different, you talk different, you grind different. You start the day with momentum instead of misery. You start with confidence instead of complaints. That energy bleeds into everything, your relationships, your work ethic, your focus. Because when you see life as a privilege, not a punishment, you start protecting your time. You start valuing your decisions. You start waking up with fire, not fear. Most people are waiting for life to give them something extra to feel excited. Now, you don't need extra, you need awareness. You need to recognize that the breath in your lungs is all the motivation you should ever need. That alone is a reason to go hard. And let me say this, waking up doesn't mean you feel great. It doesn't mean everything is going right. It means you have another opportunity to turn it around. You might have messed up yesterday, but you woke up. That means grace covered you. That means the game ain't over. You might feel tired, defeated, discouraged, but you woke up. That means you still got time to rebuild, to heal, to grow, to win. Every sunrise is a reset. Every morning is a reminder that your life has not been wasted. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care who doubted you, who walked out on you, what the bank account says. You woke up. That means you still have a shot. That means God ain't done with you yet. So stop waking up like you lost. Stop waking up like the world is against you. Wake up like a warrior. Wake up like a champion. Wake up like someone who knows they've already been handed the first W of the day just by opening their eyes. What you do after that is on you. The world don't need another bitter, broken spirit walking around like life owes them. The world needs people who wake up with purpose. People who wake up with fire in their chest. People who understand that if they're alive, they're powerful. That if they're breathing, they're blessed. That waking up isn't routine, it's responsibility. It's an invitation to rise higher than you did yesterday. So the next time your eyes open, don't just roll over and complain. Get up and go get it. You already won the first round, now finish the fight. Gratitude is not weakness. It's not passive. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. Gratitude is strength. It takes power to wake up every day, even when life is heavy, and still say thank you. That's strength. That's courage. That's discipline. Because when your world isn't matching your expectations, it's easy to fold. It's easy to give in to frustration, to anger, to bitterness. But to stand in the middle of the storm with tears in your eyes, pain in your chest, and still speak gratitude out loud, that's a warrior mindset. That's power in its rawest form. You think being strong means fighting everybody, proving yourself to everybody, pushing harder and harder until you break. But strength is often silent. Strength is grounded. Strength says, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm grateful I'm not where I used to be. Strength says, I might be tired, but I'm not done. That's what gratitude does. It gives you perspective. It clears your vision so you don't just focus on the problems, you recognize the progress. You start to see the small wins. You start to appreciate the process even when it's painful, because you understand that everything is shaping you. Every trial is teaching you. And even in your hardest season, there's still something to be thankful for. Gratitude builds maturity. Immature people complain when things don't go their way. They throw fits, they blame, they quit. But gratitude matures you. It makes you stop expecting life to be easy and start embracing the fact that growth is messy. Gratitude doesn't ignore the pain, it reframes it. It says, this hurts, but I'm learning. This is heavy, but I'm growing stronger. And when you start thinking like that, you don't need motivation from the outside anymore. You're powered by something deeper. You're powered by appreciation. You're powered by perspective. You start showing up differently. You're not grinding for validation. You're grinding from a place of strength because you already feel full on the inside. People think gratitude is about saying thank you for stuff, but real gratitude is a lifestyle. It's the way you talk. It's the way you walk. It's how you carry yourself. You walk into the room like, I'm blessed to be here. You walk onto the field like, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. That shift in mindset, that shift is everything. Because now you don't resent the work, you respect it. Now you don't dread the struggle. You endure it because you know there's something on the other side. Gratitude is fuel. It gives you the strength to keep going when the road gets long. It reminds you of why you started when the pressure makes you want to quit. When you live in gratitude, you stop chasing happiness and you start creating joy. You don't wait for something external to make you feel better. You dig deep and find reasons to be grateful right where you are. That's powerful. That's unshakable. Because now your peace isn't built on circumstances, it's built on character. You know why so many people are stuck? Because they haven't learned to be grateful where they are. They think they'll feel peace when they get the job, the money, the relationship. But if you don't have gratitude now, you won't have it then. You'll just find something else to complain about. But when you learn to be grateful in the grind, grateful in the dark, grateful when it hurts, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when your spirit becomes unbreakable. Because now, you're not working for approval, you're working from appreciation. You don't need to wait for life to be perfect to be grateful. You just need to be present. The fact that you can read this, the fact that you can breathe, think, feel, that's a gift. Don't waste it. Don't walk through life numb because you're focused on what's missing. Start tapping into what's already there. The breath in your lungs, the lessons you've learned, the resilience you've built, the chances you still have. That's gratitude. That's strength. And that strength, that's what separates winners from quitters. That's what helps you keep climbing when everybody else is tapping out. Gratitude isn't just something you feel. It's something you practice. It's a decision you make daily. And when you choose it over and over again, it builds something unshakable in you. It makes you solid. It gives you clarity. It gives you peace. It gives you power, real power, the kind that doesn't depend on what happens around you because it's built on what's happening inside you. Too many people wake up and their first thought is lack. I don't have enough money. I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the support. And that mindset, it's poison. It drains your energy before the day even begins. What you focus on, you feel. What you magnify becomes your reality. So when you start your day locked in on what's missing, you walk around blind to what's already in your hands. You already got tools. You already got resources. You already got breath, strength, and time. And those three, that's all you need to build something legendary if you know how to use them. The enemy wants you to forget what you got, wants you to feel stuck, wants you so focused on the mountain that you don't realize you've already climbed halfway up. But here's the truth. You don't need perfect conditions to get started. You need commitment. You don't need everybody to support you. You need discipline. You don't need $1 million in the bank. You need gratitude for the 20 you've got and a plan to flip it. See, the winners in life aren't the ones with the most. They're the ones who maximize the least. The ones who say, I might not have everything, but I'm going to use everything I got. If you woke up this morning, you've got potential. If you've got a dream in your heart, you've got direction. And if you've got a made-up mind, you've got power. That's what separates the average from the elite. The elite don't wait for conditions, they create them. They don't sit around waiting for permission. They use what they have and they build brick by brick. You keep looking at other people's chapters and comparing it to your page one. Stop that. You don't know what they went through. You don't know how long they've been building. You don't know what they had to lose to get there. Focus on your assignment. Focus on your tools. You've got time, that's wealth. You've got peace, that's a treasure. You've got energy, that's currency. Use it. Spend it wisely. Stop saying you're broke when you've got air in your lungs and a mind that works. You're not broke, you're just distracted. You're not stuck, you're just ungrateful. Because the second you stop and really look at what you have, you'll realize you've got more than enough to take the next step. And that's all that matters. Not 10 steps, not the whole staircase, just the next one. One move, one decision, one call, 1 hour of focus. You start stacking those and watch how far you'll go. When you maximize what you have, you stop begging for more. You start walking in ownership. You stop chasing approval. You stop doubting your journey. You walk into every room like you belong because you know what's in you is greater than what's around you. That kind of confidence doesn't come from having everything. It comes from using everything. Every scar, every mistake, every lesson, you take it all and you say, this is mine. This is my story. This is my advantage. You don't throw your struggle away. You repurpose it. You turn pain into power. You turn setbacks into setups. That's the mindset of a giant. You don't need a perfect background. You don't need a big platform. You don't need a fancy degree. You need focus. You need faith. You need hunger. People with less than you are doing more than you because they refuse to make excuses. They look at what they have and they say, let's go. They're not waiting on a handout. They're working like they already got it. That's what gratitude does. It flips the script. It makes you resourceful. It makes you sharp. You start asking, what can I do with what I got? And when you ask better questions, you get better results. You want your life to change? Stop looking around. Start looking within. Start seeing what you've overlooked. Maybe it's that old skill you buried. Maybe it's that contact you forgot about. Maybe it's your story that somebody else needs to hear. You're sitting on gold, but calling it dust because you're too busy comparing it to somebody else's treasure. Now, own what's yours. Be proud of your portion. Honor it. Multiply it. Because when you maximize what's in your hands, more finds you. Doors open. People notice. Opportunities start showing up, not because you chased them, but because you stewarded what you already had. That's how you win, not by waiting, not by whining, but by working with what you've got like it's already everything you need. because it is. And when you start your day with gratitude, you don't just change your mood, you change your direction. You set the tone, you set the energy, and you set the expectation. Most people wake up reactive. They roll over, grab their phone, scroll through bad news, social media highlights, messages from people who don't even care about them like that. And from that moment on, their day is in defense mode. They're not leading the day. The day is dragging them. But when you wake up and start with gratitude, it's like you grab the wheel. You say, this day belongs to me. You stop drifting and start driving. Gratitude isn't just something you feel, it's a weapon. It's the first move in your playbook. It blocks negativity, it disarms anxiety, and it shuts down the noise. When you wake up and say, I'm grateful to be alive, I'm grateful to be breathing, I'm grateful for the opportunity to grow today, you've already beat half the battle. Because now your brain ain't looking for problems, it's looking for purpose. You're not reacting to chaos. You're responding to mission. And that shift right there, that's what separates people who stay stuck from people who move forward. Your mind is like a thermostat. If you wake up and set it on worry, everything you see will feel like a threat. You'll feel overwhelmed before breakfast. But if you wake up and set it on gratitude, you walk into situations with peace. You approach people with compassion. You see problems as puzzles, not prisons. And that creates momentum, that creates clarity. You start attracting solutions instead of spiraling in stress. Why? Because you already anchored your soul in something positive. You didn't let the world set your mood. You set it yourself. This ain't about pretending life is easy. It's about controlling what you can control. You might not be able to change your job today. You might not be able to fix every relationship, but you can choose your attitude. You can choose your energy. You can choose to say, today I'm grateful for what I've got, and I'm gonna give my best to it. That kind of posture, that mindset, it makes you dangerous in the best way, because now you can't be rattled by small things. You can't be shaken by people who bring drama. You're too locked in. You've already claimed victory before the world threw its first punch. Some people say, I'll be grateful when I get the job, when I make the money, when I hit the goal, but they got it backwards. Gratitude precedes the breakthrough. It's not the response, it's the reason the breakthrough comes. When you start your day with gratitude, you're training your mind to see opportunity in struggle, to find joy in effort, and to stay grounded when things get loud. You're saying, I already won today just by waking up. Everything else is bonus. That's power, that's leverage. Because you're no longer desperate for results to make you feel worthy. You already know you're blessed, so now you show up like it. You want to change your life? Change how you start your mornings. Stop rushing, stop complaining, stop rolling out of bed like life owes you something. It doesn't. You owe life something. You owe life your attention, you owe it your effort, you owe it gratitude. Because no matter what's happening, you're still here. That's proof you've got purpose. That's proof you've got a shot. And when you start your day from that place, you become unstoppable. Not because things are easy, but because you're rooted. Your mind is set. Your soul is steady. Your spirit is ready. Every day you wake up with breath in your lungs. That's life handing you a fresh page. You get to decide what to write on it. So how are you going to start? With fear, with frustration, with negativity, or with power, peace, and purpose? Gratitude is the pen, it's the tone, it's the foundation. And when you build on it, everything else becomes stronger. Your hustle becomes more focused. Your relationships become more intentional. And your goals stop feeling like pressure and start feeling like privilege. Because you're not chasing to fill a hole, you're building from a full heart. So tomorrow when that alarm goes off, don't hit snooze and drag through the day. Sit up, breathe deep, speak thanks, even if you're tired, even if it's hard, especially if it's hard. Because that moment, that's the moment that sets the tone. That's where the champions are made. Not in the afternoon when the crowd is watching, but in the quiet early moments when no one's looking and your spirit says, let's go again. Gratitude gives you that power. Gratitude starts the fire. Gratitude tells your future, I'm ready. Gratitude isn't just a feeling you carry. It's a foundation you build everything on. When you wake up and choose to be thankful before you see the results, before the breakthrough, before the blessing, you're telling life, I'm ready for more because I already appreciate what I have. That mindset transforms everything. It fuels your drive, sharpens your focus, deepens your peace, and elevates your purpose. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop grinding. It means you grind from a place of strength, not scarcity. So if you really want to change your life, don't start with the to-do list. Start with a thank you. That's where real power begins.